Today is Tuesday, which means that's time for another live Q&A all about eBay and Amazon dropshipping. I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky from DropshippingTitans.com, where I teach you how to start and run your own successful eBay dropshipping business. But today I'm here to answer all your questions for free. So if you're here live, make sure to drop your question in the comments section in the live chat. If you're watching this later, ask your question in the comment section of any of my videos and join us live for one of these live Q&As. You can ask your questions and I'll answer them right away. We have some fun. Sometimes I give away some prizes. Today, actually, I'm announcing the winners of a couple of different contests I was running because I hit 10,000 subscribers. And again, guys, thank you so much for all the support there. So I will be announcing those winners later. But for right now, I do want to get into some questions just while we wait for some other people to get in here. I had a question this week from Aaron, one of my students in my course. Aaron was asking me, Paul, how are some people selling VERO items? And these VERO items, called VERO is the way you spell it, these are items that most people can't sell on eBay without permission from the manufacturer. And the reason for that is because the manufacturer has copyrighted the item description or copyrighted the photos. So we can't use the stock photos or the stock descriptions without the manufacturer's permission. Now, if you do use them anyway, there is a risk that eBay will remove those listings, and an even greater risk, well, a more severe risk, I should say, that eBay, if you keep doing it, will ban your account. Now, in recent years, they haven't been as strict about this. They will remove your listings, but I haven't heard of too many people actually getting their whole accounts banned for listing these VERO items. But the risk is up to you whether you want to do that or not. It's really your choice or not. Now, if you use a software like DSM Tool and some other repricers have something called VERO protection built in, where you can turn on a setting or turn off a setting that will prevent you from listing an item if it is VERO protected. So if you do want to take that risk, go ahead and go into the settings of DSM Tool and turn off VERO protection. This will allow you to list those items anyway. So I hope that answered your question. Aaron, thanks for being one of the students. And let's see who's here today. If you guys are here today, say hi, let me know where you're from, and let me know what your favorite TV show was while you were growing up as a kid. I see that the first comment today is from Nancy Ross. Nancy, I know, is really excited about the contest. So is Alice King and Sea Monkeys. I call these people part of the notification squad because they're always some of the first people to, comment on my videos or join me live here. So they obviously have subscribed and have turned on the notifications for the video. So thanks for your support, guys. Kathy, of course, as well from North Carolina. And we have Tippo for tech saying, hey, boss. Aaron from Tulsa. And Rich is here saying, happy birthday, America. This is being filmed on July 3rd. Tomorrow's July 4th. It is a really hot day here in New York City, but I had the air conditioning blasting for a while before the live stream. Should hold me over for the next hour or so while I'm here answering your questions. Aaron says his favorite TV show is Airwolf. To be honest, I've never heard of that one, but I have heard of Full House, Andrew. That was a good show. I haven't watched the reboot, though, of it. Okay. And Elegant says Sex and the City is their favorite show. MASH is a classic, Denise. Okay, so let me answer another question from Monica. Monica asked me, how do I explain to a customer why they're getting a box from Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon when I dropship onto eBay? How do you deal with that? Well, that's a great question, Monica. And I'm actually going to make a really in-depth video about this next week. So if you want to check that out, make sure that you keep an eye out for that video. But the short answer is that most customers just don't care, surprisingly. I've sold a lot of items on eBay, and of those lots of sales, less than 1% of my customers have complained about the fact that it's come in a different box. And in the video that I'm going to release next week, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to deal with that 1% that do care. But I think most people don't care because They see it in a Home Depot box, or maybe they even see it in an Amazon box, and they kind of just assume that those are the boxes you had around your house, and you just repurposed it and sent it out to the customer. And I think most people, when they get an item in the mail, they just rip it open, pull out their item, and then throw away the box and don't even pay too much attention to it. So I think that's really the reason why most people don't care. But like I said, I'll be making a pretty cool video about this next week that you might want to check out. Okay. Engelbert's favorite show growing up was Family Matters. Phil Allen's was Ninja Turtles, great show. My favorite show growing up was The Simpsons. I would run home every day after school, get a bowl of ice cream from my parents' freezer, and watch The Simpsons. And yeah, I ate way too much ice cream as a kid. Okay, let's see if anyone has any questions here about eBay or Amazon dropshipping. Okay, Annalise says that they are unable to see how many people have been watching their listings. And I know that eBay has been having some issues lately where their, I guess you can call them analytics, so to speak, haven't really been working for a lot of people. So the view count has been off, or basically the view count or the buy count has been off on a lot of people's accounts. As far as I know, eBay is aware of this issue. It doesn't really impact sales too much, but this is information that a lot of buyers like to know. So I know eBay is working on fixing that. Engelbert says, Paul, I was just wondering what your experience has been with the summer slowdown. How much have your sales historically gone down during the summer months? So Engelbert, I actually started my first eBay store in January of last year, in 2017. So during the summer, my store was still growing. So I think that kind of reversed the slowdown in the summer because I was growing my account at that time. Now that this is my first summer as a really established seller, I did notice a slowdown in the late fall. But of course, a lot of us saw a slowdown around April 20th of this year. But my sales have gone back up. And actually, in the past week or a little more, they've gone much higher than they were before. I think that's because there's a dip. There's kind of a time period in the late spring, early summer where people aren't buying things. But now around this time of year, early July, people want to buy barbecue stuff. They want to buy summer stuff. They want to buy like water stuff. So that's when sales start to pick back up again. Okay. And Seth says eBay just fixed the view counter, and I think it fixed for some people, maybe not for everyone, or maybe has to have a little time to catch up on that. Okay. And Christine says Christine likes the Gummy Bears. That was a good TV show as well. Sharon asks a question. Sharon says, hey, Paul, I love your virtual assistant course. I'm about to hire my first virtual assistant myself, but I'm wondering if the course disappears after I'm done. No, absolutely not. If you're enrolled in either of my courses, the main course is Dropshipping Titans, and that's probably the first link in the description. If you're enrolled in that, or if you're enrolled in my virtual assistant course, you're enrolled for the lifetime of the course. So it's not going to go away. You can watch the whole thing and you can watch it again, watch it as many times as you want. It's not going to go away, Sharon. And Aisha is really my favorite tonight. Aisha says her favorite show is Paul's live webinars and New York City vlogs. Thank you, Aisha. Okay. So somebody's asking, and I'm sorry I don't read Russian, so I can't pronounce your name. It says, hi, Paul. How do you compete with eBay's grouped listings showing the lowest price, for example? So what this person is asking about is eBay is slowly moving over to a model like what Amazon has, which are cataloged group listings. So in other words, all the items that you purchase or all the items that buyers see are going to be grouped together, all of the similar items, similar to the way it's done on Amazon. And the question is, how are you going to compete with that? Well, there's a couple of different ways. First of all, eBay is doing this very, very slowly. So right now, most items aren't falling into that catalog. So it's still possible to sell them the traditional way for now. And who knows if this is even something that's going to work for eBay. They may go back to the way it was. We just have to wait to see what they do with it. Now, once the catalog is rolled out, I think it's still going to be fine to be selling on eBay doing drop shipping. I'm doing drop shipping now on Amazon, and this is the way that Amazon's set up with this catalog-based system. But I'm still making sales on it, even though I'm brand new to the platform. And that's because there's just so many people buying items out there. The main person, maybe the person who has the buy box, they go out of stock while you're still in stock. And that way you can get those sales while that person can't. And you're just going to find other items that other people aren't selling as well that you'll be able to sell. So I don't anticipate it being too much of a hindrance if you are willing to put in the work and find the items that a lot of other people aren't selling. Denise is asking me about a software called SalesFreak. And SalesFreak, if you're unfamiliar with what it is, it's like DSM Tool and SKUGrid. It allows you to list items onto eBay, and then from a website like Amazon.com, then it connects the Amazon item with your listing on eBay. So if the price changes on Amazon, it increases or decreases on eBay. If it goes out of stock on Amazon, it goes out of stock on eBay. As far as I remember, SalesFreak only works with Amazon. It is one of the more expensive softwares. It also does more than what I just said, by the way. I think it does a lot with research of items as well. It does tend to be more expensive than other softwares, but it's almost like a fully automated system if you're drop shipping from Amazon to eBay. And it's specifically designed for people who are into bulk listing items. Now, I did use it myself for a very short time period last year, so I don't have like a full review of it. But a buddy of mine, Dropship Tyler, if you want to check out his YouTube channel, he talks a lot about SalesFreak. And so if you want more information about that one, check it out there. The reason I don't use it is because I don't do bulk listing. I like to do product research and find items that I know are going to sell well. And that's why I use a software like DSM Tool. And plus DSM Tool, it does tend to be cheaper than SalesFreak from what I understand. Don't quote me exactly on that. It might be that SalesFreak is just more expensive because you are listing so many items onto eBay from Amazon. And that might be the reason it's more expensive. But because I'm doing the product research, that's why I use DSM Tool, not SalesFreak. And because I use other sources besides just Amazon. Okay, whoa, a lot of questions came in, so let me try to keep up with them. Okay, Ginger Hustle. Welcome back, Ginger Hustle. Ginger Hustle says, how long did it take you to initially get sales when you first started listing? I've been listing for 2 days now and no sales. Okay, you gotta be a little bit more patient, man. I know you're young. I know you like to hustle quickly, but you gotta be patient with this game. It does take some time. And from what I remember, after I started listing my first items, it took me about a week and a half before I saw my first sale. But once you get that first sale, it's going to hook you in and it's going to motivate you and you're going to keep going. Even if times get slow, you're going to feel motivated. You're going to remember that first sale. Don't forget that first sale because it's such an amazing feeling when you can look back and say, wow, it all began with that one item I sold, that one item that I made $2.16 on. It all started right there. And so if you can keep that in mind, after you make that first sale, it's going to keep you going no matter what. Okay. Okay, Brett Berry asks me, you say we should keep the brand out of the title. Should we remove it from the item specifics as well? So great question. So the reason I say that you should usually remove the brand, but not always from the item title, is because oftentimes the brands are very generic and they're not brands that people are searching for. So if you're selling, let's say, and I wouldn't recommend that you sell an Apple product, but let's say that you are selling an Apple iPhone 8. in that case, you want to put the brand in there because that's something people are searching for. They're searching for Apple iPhones. Actually, yeah, so they are searching for that. So you would want to put the brand in there. But if you were selling, let's say, a table, and the table was some off-brand, like quality flower brand table. I have no idea. So let's say it was called quality flower brand table. Nobody's going to be searching for that brand name. That's a bad brand name, so it's not memorable anyway, but nobody's going to be searching for that. So you want to keep that out of the title because you don't want to waste room in the title with that. You want to put in keywords that people are searching for. Table, living room table, 3 legs if it's 3 legs, foldable if it's foldable, glass if it's glass, things like that. You don't want to waste room with the brand that no one's searching for. So that's what I recommend for the brand. Do you need to remove it from the item specifics? No, not in that case, because this is really just for the title where you have limited amount of room. So Bernita says, do you list items for seasons and or holidays? When should we be listing for Christmas season? So Bernita, I do list seasonal items. So these are items that only sell during a certain time of the year. So for instance, right now, like I mentioned before, these are going to be items like barbecue items, water sport items, things like that people are going to use outside. Things like snow shovels aren't going to sell this time of year. Now, the benefits of these is that they sell really well during those seasonal times, especially at the beginning of the season. The downside to this is that they do tend to fluctuate in stock a little more, so you got to keep your eye on that. And they do tend to not sell the rest of the year. So during the rest of the year, you might want to consider deleting them from your store, maybe saving them in a spreadsheet so you can remember to relist them next year, but delete them in your store because they just take up room. If you are at your listing, not your listing limit, yes, then you want to delete them to make room for other items. If you're over the amount of free listings you get, then you want to delete them as well so you're not spending money on them that you don't need. And of course, deleting them is going to increase your sell-through rate, which always looks good to eBay as well. So that's the only drawback to them, is that they take a little bit more work, but they do sell really well. As for the Christmas season, I would start thinking, well, you should be thinking about it all year long and just developing a strategy for it all year. But as for actually finding the right items to list into your store for the Christmas season, I would start November 1st doing that. Really start taking that seriously so that on Black Friday, when that hits, you're ready to go. You have all the correct items in your store that are going to sell well for the holiday season. Okay. Okay. And Vicky's here from St. Louis and says her favorite TV show is Andy Griffith Show. She says, I'm old and I love you. Thank you for being here, Vicky. I'm actually going there later this year for a wedding, so I'm pretty excited. It'll be my first time there. And Jeffrey's asking if I will be making a video soon from the YouTube space. Hopefully soon. I just got to find some time to go there. What Jeffrey's talking about is once you hit 10,000 subscribers, you can access the YouTube space here in New York City. So I'm pretty excited for that, and I'll be checking that out. And Schwal makes an excellent suggestion, as always reminding me because I forget. If you guys are finding value out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We have 160 people here and only 40 or 50 thumbs up. So if you are enjoying this, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Okay. Mollusk N says, if you're looking at negative feedback, if the buyer complains that they see the lower price on the invoice that you drop shipped, what is your normal reaction? So at this point, I really don't care so much because I've had negative feedbacks, plenty of them, and I've gotten them removed. So I don't have an emotional reaction, if that's what you mean, anymore. I used to, when I got my first few negative feedbacks, I thought it was the end of the world. It's really not. You'll be able to, you want to keep your account as high as possible, but it's not the end of the world when you get negative feedback. You can get them removed. So it's something like where the buyer is complaining in the comment of the negative feedback that the item was cheaper somewhere else, you can almost always get those removed. You can definitely, without a doubt, call eBay, and usually the first person you speak to is willing to delete the comment. But usually they'll delete the comment and leave the negative feedback. But you want to get rid of all of it. And if you keep calling different representatives, eventually you'll find one who will remove the whole comment or the whole feedback. That's not really the way you're supposed to do it, but they will do it if you keep calling and you find the right one. Okay. Let's see a question that I had from this week. Okay. Okay. I answered that one. Okay. Jacob asked me a question this week. Jacob said, I've been watching your videos and I'm very interested in getting started. What advice do you have for someone who really wants to jump in, however, is very scared and unsure? So Jacob, this is a great question. And my advice to you would really be that you have very little to lose. With dropshipping, the cost to get started is almost nothing. You find some good material to learn how to do dropshipping. You set up an eBay store, which is free at first if you don't do a subscription. You set up a software like DSM Tool, which will help you list items, which is free for the first 50 listings. And as long as you set your profit margins correctly, you're not going to lose money on your sale. Now, you will need a little bit of money or some credit cards to buy the items and ship them to the customers before PayPal releases the money to you, because you will be in PayPal jail at first. But besides that, you don't need much money. So you don't have much to lose. You might as well just try it. There's no harm in trying it, Jacob. Just go, give it a shot. You'll regret things like this if you don't get started. If you don't even try it, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. Even if you mess up, let's say, and you somehow lose $100. I don't know how you could do that, but if you do mess up and you somehow lose $100, in my personal opinion, I would rather risk losing $100 than risk never getting started. With these types of businesses, things that can change your life, you really have to take control of your own life and decide that you are going to do something about changing your life today. And for myself, I would rather regret the things that I've tried and failed at than the things I've never even tried at. But that's just me. And I hope that answers your question, Jacob. And I know I went on a little bit with that one. And Michael asked a question about SKUGrid. So we all know, or most of us know, that last week, SKUGrid announced that they have shut down the connection between eBay and SKUGrid, because it's a long history too. I made a video about it, and maybe I'll make the video pop up right here if you're watching this on replay. But basically the sum of it is that SKUGrid is no longer connected with eBay, and SKUGrid is just another one of those softwares that automatically reprices items on eBay if they change on your supplier's website like Walmart or Amazon. And SKUGrid was really popular with some people because it had such a wide range of different suppliers. I think it has over 100 different suppliers that it connects with, but it doesn't do the automatic repricing anymore. So as far as I know, because I've talked to the software owners of other companies, SKUGrid's the only one who has had this problem. SKUGrid does say they are working on it, and but for now, it doesn't work in that way. Okay, let's see some more live questions, and there's a lot here, so I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, but let me pick out some really good ones. Okay. So Kevin Manson asks a good question. Kevin says, let's say I have an item listed for sale, and if it sells, I'll make a $5 profit. What if somebody makes a best offer on the item and they offer me less than that? Is it better just to take the offer or hold off for the asking price? So what Kevin is speaking about are things called best offers. You can turn these on for your items. And what it does is you have an item listed for maybe $200 and someone can come in and offer you, $195 for it, something like that. So Kevin's saying, should I take that? And Kevin, it's really up to you, of course, but I would. I always feel like any sale is better than no sale at all. So I would take it in most cases, unless it's just so low and that you're going to make so little that's not even worth your time or your VA's time. But especially when you do get VAs who are managing the store, you can play around with lower margins and making less, especially on these best offers, because you're not the one running things, the VAs are. So when they're doing it, you might as well do it because it's worth it for you in that case, as long as you factor in the cost of having the VA manage the whole system. Now, best offers is something I played around with, having it on, having it off. At first I had it off and then I had it on. And when I turned it on, my store started to do better. But then once my store really kind of like leveled off or, really got higher in sales, I've recently turned it off just because people have a tendency to make really, really low offers. And it's frustrating and annoying and a waste of time. Now, there's some different ways that you can get around this or deal with this issue. One is you could turn off best offers and just be done with it. Another option is you turn off best offers and then just lower your prices a little bit to compensate. Another thing you can do is you can actually set an automatic rejection price for every single item. So let's say the item is $200 and you know that you have to sell it for at least $190 to break even, but you want to sell it for at least $195 because you want to make at least a $5 profit. Well, you can set it up so that it automatically rejects any price that is under $195. Now, the benefit to this is it's going to save you some time because you don't have to deal with all those offers that are low. The drawback, though, is that anytime the price changes on your source's website and then changes on your eBay listing, that's kind of going to mess things up. Because what if the item now, you could sell it for $190 and still make a $10 profit because it went down so much on your source's website. But because you have all offers under $195 being rejected, that doesn't really work anymore. And that would mess up things anyway if the rejection price is lower than the actual price. If the rejection price is higher than the price of the item. So I'm getting myself confused here, but it's like a flag in eBay system when those things don't quite line up correctly. So that's something you want to keep in mind. One kind of way around this is to use eBay's file exchange. And a buddy of mine, David Locke, I think he's working on this kind of system where it will automatically create a spreadsheet that you upload to the file exchange that you have to do it every day. So it will automatically set the auto reject price, and I think also the auto accept price. So you can input that into a file exchange CSV and then upload that CSV to eBay so that every day you're keeping up with those changes and keeping up with them. But I don't know if David's working on that. I thought he said he was, but if he is, I'll keep you guys updated on it. So kind of rambled a little bit on that one, but I hope that makes sense. I hope that kind of clears some things up about best offers for you guys and different ways to deal with them. All right. Okay. Sharon is here, the first live chat. She's here. Welcome, Sharon. Okay. Christopher is saying, hey, Paul, which suppliers allow you to send to multiple addresses without impacting the free shipping breakpoint? So in other words, what Christopher is asking is that some suppliers' websites will have free shipping for orders that are up to a certain amount. So in other words, for Home Depot, any order that is $45 or more gets free shipping. Now, the great thing about Home Depot is that you can combine multiple items into one order, get free shipping, and then ship those items to multiple different addresses. So Home Depot is one source that does that. Walmart does not. Amazon, you can do that, and that really helps with things like add-on items. And with Bed Bath & Beyond, you can also do that, but Bed Bath & Beyond will ban your account if you use it too much. So Bed Bath & Beyond will probably work for you for about 3 or 4 weeks of heavy use before they shut you down. Just keep that in mind. And J-Man, dropshipping is not against eBay's or PayPal's terms of service. No. Amazon account, track your items. So, okay, I'm not sure. Monday, I'm not sure what you mean. Monday is asking me, how am I tracking my Amazon account to track my items since SKUGrid is not working? Do you mean drop shipping onto Amazon? Because SKUGrid is still working to drop ship onto Amazon. And Conley Video says, how are people drop shipping from Amazon to eBay with Prime? They're just doing it. And I know it is technically against Prime's terms of service, but people do it anyway, and they make a lot of money doing it. So I do it, my friends do it, my students do it, everyone I know does it, and nobody's had an issue with it in a very long time. Okay. Okay, Jonathan says, hey, Paul, new subscriber. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much. I'm wondering what you do if people in Puerto Rico keep buying items from you. I know some items from Home Depot won't let you ship there. What are my thoughts on this? So Jonathan, you should go into your settings and on eBay and change it to say that you don't ship to Puerto Rico. Most suppliers will not ship to Puerto Rico. Some will in some cases, but not all cases. So I would just recommend saying you do not ship any items to Puerto Rico and then just be done with it. Okay. Okay, let's see another question from this week. Before I announce the winners of the contest, we'll get to that in a second. So Connor asked me a question this week. Connor asked me a question about cancellations. This is his first cancellation. The buyer bought an item from him, and then when Connor tried to buy the item from the source's website and ship it to the customer, the website told him that it could not be shipped to the customer due to a state regulation in California. Now, this is pretty typical. California has Proposition, 65? And that prevents you from shipping a lot of items into California because of environmental reasons. So a lot of times you have to exclude California for those items. So Connor's wondering what to do because he told the buyer to cancel the order, but the buyer is saying he's unable to cancel the order at this point. Well, Connor, you can actually cancel the order. You should go into the orders, find it, and then cancel it, and then select that there's something wrong with the buyer's shipping address in this situation, because there is. You can't physically ship the item to this state. It would be illegal for you to do that. As long as that's communicated beforehand and then you cancel it, you're mostly going to be fine. And once this does happen the first time, go back into that listing, edit it, and write in somewhere, we cannot ship this item to California due to state regulations, and just leave that in there. That will help protect you from negative feedback in the future if a buyer gets mad that you cancel an order because you couldn't ship to California. So great question, Connor. And Ethan asked me, what's the quickest way out of PayPal jail? PayPal jail is just what we call this probation period that PayPal sets up. When you're first selling on eBay and using PayPal, they're going to put you into this probation period. And the point of this is just so that they can make sure that you're a reputable seller, that you're actually going to fill orders and ship them out to customers. So it's a 3-month period, but you can get out of it sooner if you fulfill all your orders, get them shipped out to customers, upload the tracking numbers, and they show as delivered. Once they're marked as delivered, the money will be returned to you. And then if you keep doing this on a regular basis and get enough sales, you should be able to get out of PayPal jail quicker than those 3 months. Okay. And Moleska is asking me, if I'm using Amazon Prime, should I use multiple accounts so things don't get suspicious? And I've never done this, and I don't think it's necessary. Sometimes some items you will only be able to buy a certain number of, and in that case, I would delete those items because it does get hard to fulfill orders when you can't actually buy the item from Amazon because you've already bought too many of them. Okay. Untouchable TJ says that eBay has asked him to reset his password twice in the last week or so. They keep saying that there's unauthorized logins. Could this possibly be because I'm logging in from multiple devices? Has anyone seen this issue? So I saw this issue when I first started with virtual assistants because they're logging in from different IP addresses all around the world. Sometimes it just randomly happens. It won't happen for a long time, and then it will happen. It's a pain when it does, but you just got to keep changing your password, and that's really all you can do. You can call them maybe and ask, but I just think you just got to change your password and move on. No, Bobby, for the PayPal jail, they're going to send you the money right away once the item has been marked as delivered, and you're not going to have to wait till the end of 3 months to get all that money. Okay. Okay, so let's answer another question from Sam this week. Sam asked me, is it possible to make between 40 and 60% profit margins on items? Sam, that doesn't really work with eBay dropshipping because with dropshipping, our margins are going to be lower, but where we compensate for that is in volume. So you sell a lot more items at a lower margin, you're going to make a lot more money doing it that way. If you want 40 to 60% profit margins, you will have to do stuff like retail arbitrage or private label. 60% is pretty high though. So that's probably going to be more things like private label. But with eBay, again, it's really just about the volume for the drop shipping. Zahir says, I've done $1,000 in sales in the last 15 days from Walmart, but none from Home Depot. I don't know why. So Zahir, without really seeing your account, it's kind of hard to know why that might be. I would look at, how many items do you have listed from Walmart and how many from Home Depot? And where are you getting these items from? If you're finding these from people, if you're just listing any random items, and for Home Depot, maybe you're listing items that are selling on eBay from Walmart, that could be a reason as well. So without really knowing more, I can't really help you with that one. But yeah, I would look more at what you might be doing differently between the two. And Bobby's asking me, how many hours a day do I spend on my business when I first started? I spent every moment of my life on my eBay business when I started. And that's because I didn't know what I was doing. I had some guidance, but no one was really explaining how to do it in 2017 or 2018. So I had to basically learn from scratch and figure it out all out on my own. So that's why I was spending a lot of time just figuring it out. Okay. Vabako, okay, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, so Victor asked a great question. Victor is asking me, what happens when you buy an item from Home Depot and then you go to checkout and the price changes? What's up with that? How do I deal with that? what do we do about that, basically? So Victor, what's going on there is that Home Depot uses something called dynamic pricing. And this means that the price changes based on your zip code. Now, if in the good old days, it used to be that you could go up to the top of the Home Depot website, change your zip code, and you could actually kind of use this as a way to save money on your purchase. Because if you change your zip code to a cheaper one, even if the item shipped to a different zip code, you would still be able to keep that cheaper price. Now that's not the case. Now Home Depot fixed that kind of loophole. So what happens now is if the item is in your cart, let's say your zip code is one in New York City and the price in the cart is $100. Then when you go to actually put in the buyer's address, and let's say the buyer actually lives in California, and you enter the California zip code, now the price, let's say, goes up to $105 because of this dynamic pricing. There's no way to get around that during this stage of it. Now, sometimes the reverse is true. Maybe you put in the buyer's address and the price actually goes down. So you actually win in that situation. But we're going to talk about what happens when the item is more expensive. I still buy the item and get it shipped out to the customer. If it's much higher, you can try to find it on other websites like Amazon sometimes has it, or Walmart. Usually, I've done some rough math on this, and I found that things pretty much even out. Sometimes items will be cheaper, sometimes they'll be more expensive, but they kind of pretty much even out. Once in a while, you run into one of those rogue items that are just much more expensive when they ship to one zip code over the other ones. In those cases, if it's much more expensive, I'll probably cancel the order, saying that it was damaged or lost in transit or something like that. And then I will, if it keeps happening, then I'll delete that item from my store. But in most cases, in general, I find that it pretty much evens out between the items that end up being cheaper or the items that end up being more expensive. Now, one thing you could try, and this sometimes works, is to contact Home Depot and say, hey, this item I just purchased, it's supposed to be $100. I was charged $105. Can you match that price? Can you honor that price and refund me $5? And sometimes they'll do that if you get lucky. Okay, Bobby says, I see another dropshipper that is totally against third-party software. Is it possible to be successful without third-party software tools? I can't fathom how it's possible to work without it. And yeah, I completely agree, Bobby. I really think that software is necessary in 2018 in order to be successful on eBay with dropshipping, in order to compete with everyone else. Now, there are ways actually to use software that's semi-automatic that doesn't connect to your eBay account. And let me explain what I mean, but I will say that I've never tested this. This is just something I theorize could work, and just something I thought of. So there is a listing software out there. I think it's called something like I forget the name of it, and I apologize. So if anyone knows the name of it, please leave it in the comments of the live chat. But basically what it does is it doesn't connect with your eBay account, but you have one tab open with a manual listing for eBay and another tab open with the item that you want to sell from, let's say, Home Depot, or let's say from Walmart. Then this software is basically like a copy and paste tool, and it somehow makes it very easy to copy and paste from the Walmart item into your manual eBay listing. So for eBay's sake, it looks like you're doing a manual listing, but in fact, it's this like Chrome extension or something that's copying it over for you pretty quickly. I've never used it. It's just something I've seen before. Then to reprice, you would use something like SKUGrid, but don't connect it with your eBay account. Then at the end of every day, or a couple of times a day, you would have to download a CSV, format it correctly, and then upload it to eBay, the file exchange, to adjust all the prices and the stock. That's like a semi-automatic, but I prefer something that's fully automated. That's why I use DSM tool. Okay, cool. So I think it's time that we can begin to announce the winners of the contest. Again, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We're at over 11,000 subscribers now. When I hit 10,000, I wanted to do something special for you guys. So I've been running this contest. The contest is almost over now. We actually still have one more prize to announce. Well, we have all the prizes to announce, but one more contest still running, which I'll talk about in a second. But I did want to talk about the prize that people are going to get. So what's going to happen is I'm giving away to one of my current students the VA course. So this is a student who's inside my course already, and they're going to win access to my virtual assistant course. This shows them how to hire and train virtual assistants, all the steps necessary, how to find virtual assistants for only $2 an hour. And my favorite part of it is that it actually comes with training videos that you can send your virtual assistants. They watch them, it trains them so you don't have to do it yourself, saves you a ton of time, and makes it super simple, which is why I call it Super Simple VAs. So the winner of this contest is Max W, and I will be sending Max an email letting him know. But if you're here, Max, congratulations on winning the Super Simple Virtual Assistants course. And I'll send you an email about that. Let's see. Oh no, shoot. Sorry, I've messed up already. So I'm sorry. The winner of that contest is Andy C. Andy C is the winner of the VA course. So sorry about that, Max. Max, I jumped the gun a little bit. Max, you're actually the winner of the other contest I was running. So Max entered the contest and he won access to my Dropshipping Titans course. This is the course that it's going to teach Max how to start, run, and scale his very own profitable eBay dropshipping business. Some of my students are doing really well with it already. I want to congratulate Tim. Tim is one of my students. He made his first sale in less than 7 days after starting his eBay store. So congratulations to Tim, and congratulations to Majid. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I apologize if I'm not, but he started his store, and in his second month on eBay, after taking my course, he did $27,000 in sales. So a huge congratulations to him. So this is working for my students, which is why I'm so excited to welcome Max into the program. And I also have one more winner for this besides Max W. The other winner is Johnny. I don't know Johnny's last name, but Johnny, your email address starts with Mars. So if you are Johnny Mars, you've also won access to the Dropshipping Titans course. So I'll be emailing both of them, and you guys have probably until the next live stream to get back to me. If you don't get back to me, then I'll give away to someone else. So congratulations to Max W and Johnny for winning the Dropshipping Titans course, and Andy C, my current student who won access to the VA course. There's still a chance to win the last prize, which is an Amazon gift card. Now I'll be giving this away to one random person, probably in the next few days or the next week. I'll be going live at some random time, dropping some knowledge, and someone who's there with me live, participating in the live chat, just like you guys are now, will win that gift card, the $50 gift card. So if you do want to be in the running for that, you got to subscribe to the channel, and you got to turn on the notifications so that you get an alert as soon as I do go live. So that's the last prize left. But again, thanks guys so much for subscribing. Congratulations to the winners. Okay. Oh, so I feel so bad for everyone who didn't win. Sorry, guys. You're really making me feel bad here. Okay. All right. So we do have a couple more questions. My voice is kind of dying because it's so hot here. But I'm committed to the full hour, so I am almost done. So we're going to power through this right now, guys, together. Andy asked me a cool question this week, Andy said he's been using DSM tool and he's noticed that they have templates that you can use, kind of templates for your listings. So the question is, should he be using those should he be using those templates? Should he make his own custom templates? What's my advice about that? So Andy, if you're here, I hope you are, because this is a great question. I use the ones supplied by DSM tool. I think they're really excellent. And I just personally feel like the templates don't really matter too much as long as all the information is in there and it looks somewhat professional. I think it's going to be fine. I think people have some, I guess you call them like really crazy listing, like listing templates, and they're really cool, and you can click these buttons and it shows you different things. That's cool, but I don't think it's really all that necessary. Just use one that looks pretty nice and professional, and I think that's all you really need. And Realist is here in the house, says, I get the course before starting. I didn't, and I regret that. Okay. And Connie knows how to do it. Connie says, thanks, Paul. I love to listen to your videos while listing. That's really the way to do it. Okay. And Paul L is here. Welcome, Paul L. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions I have, because I've run out of questions from the week. So if anyone has any more, I can answer them for you guys. Darren says, what is the rarest third-party site you have used to dropship from? I assume that's what you mean, Darren. There's really so many that you can use any online retailer. I've tried Bass Pro Shop, some other like outdoor shops I thought would do well, but I just really like Walmart, Amazon, and Home Depot. Okay. And White and Gray Boutique is asking about my course. White and Gray, if you just click the first link in the description of this video, that's going to take you to the course and you can see everything you need to know about it. And the price is there and the little video introducing it. So just check that out. It should have all the answers that you need. Okay. So Paul L is saying, sometimes DSM tool pulls the price from the supplier's website and the price is different. Why is that? There's a couple of different reasons for that. Sometimes it is that dynamic pricing I was talking about earlier. Sometimes it's just the way that the websites are set up. Unfortunately, there's really no way around it because any repricer is going to pull that same information just the way it is. Sometimes it's just a matter of it catching up, kind of like the price and something with the API. I'm not 100% certain of why that is, but as far as I know, it usually catches up and works fine after a little bit. And Black God says, sup Paul, I bought your course, it's great. Got my first 5 sales within 2 days of starting with only 8 items listed. Wow, that's awesome. And I'm working my tail off to get to 500 listings. That's the way to do it, man. Keep it up. Okay, Molesk is asking about the listings and says, do I care much about the description or is it more about the title that I care about? The title is definitely more important. So I just copy and paste the listing or have my VAs, use DSM tool to copy and paste the listing. And that's really all I care about. Okay, guys, so we're not quite at the hour, but I'm going to end it here because, quite frankly, it is really hot in here. I had the AC off for just an hour, but it's already boiling in here. I'm losing my voice. So I want to save as much as I can. But thanks guys so much for coming out and watching the video, asking me these questions live. I hope that if you're watching this on replay, you can join us during the next live Q&A. It will not be next Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm really sorry, guys. Next week, I have something going on Tuesday night that I can't miss. I might do it another day of the week. I don't want to make any promises about that, but I usually do them every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So if you do want to get into that, make sure to subscribe, and I'll link up my last live Q&A up here if you guys want to check out that video. But again, thanks guys so much for checking things out and watching, and I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July and you don't get too overheated. Make sure to drink a lot of water, guys. Okay, have a wonderful night.